India have named the squad for their final assignment ahead of the ODI World Cup. Ravichandran Ashwin gets a late audition, but four of India's regulars, including Captain Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, have been rested. Is that ideal preparation heading into a home World Cup? That's what we'll be discussing on this edition of WION World of Sport Extra. I'm Vidur Kathuria, and I'm joined by my colleague Nikhil Mathur, and we'll be soon joined by our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo. Nikhil, what do you make of the squad?
I think it's good that we have given rest to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, India's top batters, because you don't want them to get injured. Look at Australia, look at New Zealand, look at even Pakistan. Naseem Shah is doubtful for the World Cup. Australia, Travis Head is suffering with an injury, and New Zealand, Tim Southee. So you don't want your best players to be injured before a World Cup. Why do you want to take that risk? So I think it's a good move by the Indian team management to give them rest, and they will be back for the final ODI against Australia. And it will give other players a chance, players like, as you mentioned, Ravichandran Ashwin and Washington Sundar, to make a late claim for a place in the 15-man squad for the World Cup.
I actually agree with you. I think because that we have had this Asia Cup campaign where everybody got enough match practice and they did well. So I think it makes sense to rest them for the first two matches. They will be back for the third ODI. And if you look, if they had been included for all matches, that makes it 3 matches plus 5 or 6 matches they played at the Asia Cup. So that's a lot of matches in a very short period of time heading into the World Cup. Injury concerns obviously will be there. Let's talk about what are the places that are up for grabs in the squad.
I think there's just one place that's up for grab, and that too because Akshar Patel is suffering from a hamstring niggle. So that's why Ravichandran, as Rohit Sharma said, if you are a bowling all-rounder, you are in line. And he's speaking to Ravichandran Ashwin and Washington Sundar. So I think eyes on them. If Ravichandran Ashwin, somehow he just manages to get into the squad at the last moment. He last played a ODI, I think, in
January 2022. January 2022, 1.5 years. And I actually thought that India had moved on from Ravichandran Ashwin, especially in white ball cricket. But obviously that's not the case. Probably, and the only reason why this has been done because we're not 100% sure of Akshar Patel's fitness levels. But I think if Akshar Patel is not fit between Washington Sundar and Ashwin, I think Ashwin will have the edge. As of now, obviously it depends on how they perform in the series. Both of them will be given an opportunity.
Yeah, World Cup winner. And that's also a poll question, who do you think is a better, let's say, all-rounder or bowling all-rounder between, Ravichandran Ashwin, Akshar Patel.
He was part of that 2011 World Cup winning 11. He obviously played in the final. So yeah, he has experience of winning a home World Cup.
Yeah, and you're talking about Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. I was just going through the tweets on Twitter, now called X. Virat Kohli fan army was saying, that Virat is not being given enough chances. It's fair, that in West Indies he was rested, he didn't play a lot of matches. But I think he's not undercooked. India had played 14 matches this year, and he's part of, 10 or 11 matches, and he's in good nick. So that Virat Kohli army on Twitter going then, they are again saying it's a conspiracy to stop Virat Kohli from achieving Sachin Tendulkar's record. So I don't think, jokes aside and conspiracy theories aside, I think Virat Kohli is not undercooked, neither is Rohit Sharma, and I think they deserved a rest. And if they wanted to play, I think they would have made their, status clear to BCCI. I think they are also quite happy with it that they've been given rest. Otherwise, they would have, told the management, that we need to play one more game or something like that.
Yeah, and also India have just won the Asia Cup. It's important to point that out. So they have already enough match practice, 5 or 6 matches they played at the Asia Cup, high-level matches. Of course, they won that tournament, so that confidence is there. I think now the 11 more or less is settled. Obviously, just one spot that is up for grabs. And it's also important to test your bench strength ahead of the World Cup. There should be some opportunities given to the likes of Tilak Verma, even Surya Kumar Yadav, who didn't get that much of an opportunity in the Asia Cup. So, and that's what India have done, especially in the first 2 ODIs. Tilak Verma will get an opportunity, and Ruturaj Gaikwad, if he has an outside chance, he obviously will lead India at the Asian Games, which have begun today, by the way.
But who I feel the most for in that list, that name is not even there in the list. It's Sanju Samson. Poor guy, he was, part of that fringe group who were would have made the World Cup squad. He's not part of the World Cup squad. He's not part of this squad. He's not playing the Asian Games. Because of that, he couldn't get a county contract. So he's just sitting. So I feel for
unlucky.
I think he should have been in this squad or in the Asian Games squad because he has done well. And I think Surya Kumar Yadav, I think he has been given a lot of opportunities in the ODIs. He hasn't. He had that X factor, but in T20Is, in ODIs, he hasn't clearly performed. So maybe one last chance for him to get into the groove before the World Cup. And I think they've also given rest to Hardik Pandya, which I think is the right call because Hardik is injury prone and you want your premium all-rounder to be fit. And again, Kuldeep Yadav is also not in the squad. I think that's more of a tactical decision.
Four of them, like 4 players who have been rested, all of them are sure shot, as of now, sure shot starters in the 11.
Of course.
So, I mean, there's no debate around that. I think they deserve a rest.
Yeah.
Now, our sports editor, I know what point he would be making if he was here. So I'll make that point. Okay, fine. The point that he would make is if he was here right now would be, it's the World Cup. Why are we resting our best players? Doesn't matter if they've already won the Asia Cup. Doesn't matter how many matches they've played. It's the World Cup. They need as much match practice as you can get against a high quality team like Australia, who you are facing in the first match. So what will you say to that?
I would have just told him, go and speak to South Africa, go and speak to even Australia, go and speak to New Zealand. Their best players are injured ahead of the World Cup. Or, as I said, Naseem Shah, he created a lot of problems for the Indian batters, but he's injured. He might not make it to the squad. Again, Australia, Travis Head was their opener, but he's again doubtful. So why do you want to take that risk? The probability is very high. If you play more matches, it's simple maths. My answer would be simple maths. If you play more matches, more chance of getting injured.
And also the number of injuries, Digvijay himself said this, the number of injuries we are seeing is also because there hasn't been that much ODI cricket that has been played over the last, say, 2 or 3 years. So we are seeing more injuries and big injuries to big players. Naseem Shah, Travis Head, these are stars you want to see at the biggest tournament in the world. So I think that's a fair point, that injuries, especially to Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, aren't exactly young anymore. This is definitely their last World Cup.
And they may have play less ODI matches, but their schedule is action-packed. They were playing IPL, then they were playing Test, so they haven't got a breather. I mean, of course, West Indies tour, they got a breather. Kohli barely batted there, but I think it's a good decision. And then there will be some warm-up matches at the World Cup as well, so they will get enough practice. That's what I think.
Okay, now we have some polls. Let's take a look at some of the polls. Okay, we asked who is a better all-rounder in ODIs. Options were Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur and Ravichandran Ashwin. What's your answer?
I think you would say Ravindra Jadeja, but again, it comes down to who is the second best. I think between Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin and Shardul Thakur. Is that the option? Yeah. So I think Ravindra Jadeja is your best all-rounder, but he hasn't performed, as I was mentioning in the earlier chat as well, that he hasn't done well with the bat in ODIs. But I think it's an interesting call with Ravichandran Ashwin, because if Akshar Patel is injured, I think Ravichandran Ashwin, with that experience, and he's not a mystery bowler, but he brings some kind of a different aspect to the Indian 11. So I think Ravindra Jadeja is your best all-rounder, but I think if I had to pick between Ashwin and Akshar Patel, I think I would go with Ashwin with the World Cup experience that he has.
Okay, 76.2% agree with you.
Yes.
So,
what are we doing today?
We have been discussing India's squad for the first 2 ODIs, and obviously the question is, should we have rested?
Of course not.
Vidur made that point. He said, since editor Digvijay Singh is not here, I will make his point, and he said,
which I knew. But of course, now you are here in person, so why don't you?
No, listen, it's a World Cup. What are you giving people breaks for? I mean, seriously? What is this a joke? What are you giving people breaks for? Honestly,
I think.
But injuries is a real concern.
Australia, so you can get injured. One sec, you can get injured on the first day of the World Cup. Then, like what happened to Kevin De Bruyne, our first day of the Premier League season. This is Australia. Australia are coming with their World Cup squad. Do you think that you can win the Asia Cup and win the World Cup? No, right?
But the team has just won the Asia Cup. They're not exactly short on match practice, and they're coming back for the third ODI.
Yeah.
Virat Kohli just got one big innings.
But I mean,
He got one big innings, the one against Pakistan. He scored 7 runs across the other innings, right? Or how much more did he score?
Well,
That's century and yeah.
That's it.
century.
No, but listen. This is my point. It's not about individuals. It's not about Rohit Sharma. It's not about Virat Kohli. What are they doing there in their squad for the third ODI then?
No, that's what.
No, hang on, let me complete. What are they doing there? We know what they look like. We know how they play. Just play them straight at the World Cup. Why even risk that one match? Are you saying they won't get injured during a warm-up game? There are 2 warm-up games every team plays. Okay? This is a World Cup. Your team needs to click. Okay? It's not as if that right now you have your best 11 out on the park. Aksar is injured.
Yeah.
You have either Washington Sundar or Ravichandran Ashwin coming in. They both haven't played with this Indian team for a while.
Yeah.
Okay? Washington Sundar hasn't played a one-day international. I'm not counting the last final. He's not played a one-day international since January. Okay? So you had a settled lineup at the Asia Cup, especially once Shreyas Iyer got injured. That team played. You saw what happened against Bangladesh, right? The perils of not playing a first 11.
Yeah.
And now you're going to make exactly the same mistake. What's the squad?
I think
Rahul captain, Jadeja, Gaikwad, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, Ishan Kishan. Everyone's here except 2 people.
Except
No,
4. For the first. Hardik
Pandya,
Pandya,
Kuldeep
Yadav, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli.
With Kuldeep, I understand.
Yeah, you don't want to give out that
I
mystery
understand.
with Australia.
Okay?
That's a tactical.
I get that. I get that. But you need these 2, your main batters. This is Hardik Pandya should have captained the squad. He should have played. Why is he being benched? He's injury prone, is he suddenly?
No, Hardik Pandya is injury prone. He had that big injury layoff when he got injured.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but he took a lot of time to recover.
That was 3 years ago.
No, and I think the point here is, that what Rohit Sharma said in the press conference, that Siraj wanted to bowl 10 overs. He wanted to bowl those 10 overs on a stretch. But I think the management had taken a call, that if the probability goes, if they play more, all these 3 matches, they are more prone to injury.
No, hang on. I don't have a problem with that. But you have to have the same squad. They should be in the squad sitting in that dressing room. It's like It's like what happened with the NBA last week, the story you did. Okay, you're missing. You're part of the squad, sit there.
But what they will do, Virat Kohli will carry drinks.
Yeah, why not?
In Asia Cup.
Why not?
He did.
He did, exactly.
What's wrong there?
No,
hang on. This is a World Cup coming up. You don't want to play them? Fine, don't play them. But they have to be there, sitting there. You've got a completely different lineup for the first 2 games. Then those 4 come back. There is Kuldeep in that? No, he's not there. In the third also.
No, Kuldeep is there.
I think
Kuldeep's not there. Yeah, he's there.
I think
so third ODI.
Everyone's there.
Yeah, basically,
that's your playing 11.
It's a home game. It's a home tournament. You're playing in India. You could have got everyone together plus everyone else. Like Rohit Sharma didn't play in the West Indies, right? He never used to bat.
Yeah.
You were there on the ground. People take your advice, or you're part of the management. Everything. This is what I said when we spoke 2 weeks ago. Going into the World Cup, please don't tinker. Don't give people offs. Virat Kohli doesn't need the off. He's had enough offs this year.
We need some offs.
You had an off. I'm saying it's not. I know how they play, but it's the team. The team comes ahead of anyone else. So Hardik doesn't play all games. Virat doesn't play all games. Rohit doesn't play all games. They can sit there. Okay, don't come to the match, but you have to be around the squad.
Okay, but
so hang on one sec. So are you saying that the 2 games they're not going to play, they're not going to practice also at home? Are you saying they won't go to the nets? They won't go to the nets. Rohit Sharma in Bombay, Mumbai. I think Kohli is also a Delhi boy, but he mostly stays in Bombay.
But I mean, they will return for the third ODI, so there will be some practice before that match.
Vidur, are you telling me that the days they are missing from the Indian squad for the Australia series, they will not even hold a bat even once? They will. It's a World Cup. They'll all practice. Aren't you going to get injured then?
I mean,
think of it. Am I making sense? It's really bizarre that your captain and your former captain, 2 integral members of the Indian team at this World Cup, and a future captain in Hardik Pandya, are not a part of the Indian team for the first 2 ODIs against 5-time champions Australia, who are, by the way, coming with the Pat Cummins of the world, the Steven Smiths of the world, full strength side. Because they are fit.
Okay,
that means, are you saying these 2 are not fit?
No,
are these 2 injured?
the BCCI said, the Ajit Agarkar yesterday also said, that they also needed a mental break. So I think if Virat
No, mental break for what? What have you been playing?
That's totally...
Have you been playing ODIs for the last 6 months? No, you haven't.
Exactly.
Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma can pick and choose whatever they want to play, irrespective of what the team needs. Listen, in any other squad, the 10 teams which are coming to this World Cup, are you telling me that everyone's making changes? Joe Root is not getting runs, so he's asked to be added to this squad. Either you give the entire squad a rest, which is what has happened with England.
Ireland, I think.
Right? Joe Root said, I haven't got runs, I want to play.
No, but I think Kohli or Rohit Sharma would have made that point if they, as you said, that Joe Root made a point, I haven't been scoring runs. So he told the ECB that, please include me in this squad for Ireland. I think Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli would have been, I'm just guessing, would have been given that opportunity that, listen, if you want more game time, like Virat Kohli has comparatively had a lesser game time than Rohit Sharma, then they would have told BCCI, we need more game time. But I think they are also quite happy with the decision. They must be...
Everybody wants a break. I'm just questioning that decision. I'm saying that why do you need a break ahead of a World Cup? Okay, you don't want to play, stay part of the squad, travel with the team. It's the same team which is, you're going to go into battle. A World Cup is a battle. You're going to go into battle with this team in 10 days' time. And you're not there. I mean, you saying you can't get injured during the warm-ups. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Probability goes down that spot. Because see, Travis Head, Australia injured, Naseem Shah injured, Tim Southee injured.
So it will happen. It's happening because you haven't played ODIs for so long. No. It happens. And listen, you can't predict injuries. Shaheen Shah Afridi got injured during a World Cup final. And Pakistan didn't win the World Cup.
But that's what the probability is. That's what the managers are there to see the workload.
From India's perspective...
don't give me a workload, Ramesh. These two haven't played enough cricket to qualify for a workload. Mohammad Siraj qualifies for a workload. Give him a break.
But I think they are 30.
From India's perspective, the Asia Cup was the main assignment ahead of the World Cup. So, in that sort of multi-team environment, that was the most similar to a World Cup sort of setting that we get.
Who challenged India in that Asia Cup? Apart from the first game against
India
Pakistan,
did very well.
Apart from the first game against Pakistan, which bowling unit challenged India? Are you telling me that the Australian attack, not the one which is getting pasted by South Africa, not that one, the one which is going to come to the World Cup, Stark, Cummins, are you telling me that you don't need to play against them?
But I think
it's your first game of the World Cup. Listen, India, we all know, one second, we all know how Mitchell Stark bowls. Virat Kohli knows it. He knows how Pat Cummins bowls. So be around with the squad. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they will obviously completely they will return for the third ODI. And then there are also a couple of warm-up matches before the World Cup starts for India. Against Australia on 8th October.
My point is, play the 3 ODIs against Australia. It's a strong team. Your fans expect you to beat them. And sit out on the warm-ups. Who cares? Who cares about the warm-ups? You also know everyone can bat.
The warm-up is immediately before the first match.
No, if you want to rest, you rest there. Listen, those matches are not international matches. They do not have any sanction. I can bowl one set of bowlers, I can bat one set of bowlers, I can field whoever I want.
Yeah, but I'm saying...
These are proper one-day internationals.
When do India test their bench strength then? For the plan B, as we have been speaking about, there are bound to be...
India tests their bench strength
there are bound
in
to be
these two matches.
There are bound to be a few injuries during the World Cup as well.
So who needs to be tested?
Tilak Verma.
He's not part of the World Cup squad.
He might,
he's not part of the World Cup squad.
Late audition.
Surya Kumar Yadav, Shreyas Iyer.
Ravichandran Ashwin can also get...
Washington,
I don't see Ashwin playing the World Cup.
No, what if
Akshar Patel is not fully fit?
He's not fully
fit. Washington Sundar plays.
Akshar Patel, by the way, he has been including for the squad in the third ODI, subject to fitness.
Listen, he's a medical tear. He's got a tear.
Yeah,
the medical update says he's got a tear. You're not recovering from a tear in 10 days. No, so play all these players. I'm not denying that, but why are these three not there? The 3 senior most people in the Indian team are not there. Fans are going to be paying money. Broadcasters pay money. It's ahead of a World Cup. That's what I'm saying. It's ahead of a World Cup. Listen, you guys were in office yesterday. I wasn't. I was at home. And I got stunned. I said, these 3 aren't in the team. I understand the Kuldeep situation. Fair enough. But come on, this is the World Cup. Don't take things lightly. I'm flabbergasted. There's obviously, Rahul Dravid has played more cricket than anyone in this Indian team. They know what they're going. But from the outside, the optics are not good. And you and I can only judge the optics. We have not played cricket. But we know that there's a fan out there who's paying money to go and see his team. He wants his team to win the World Cup. Tickets aren't available for a single World Cup game. India matches at least.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the comments. Rahul Sharma says, India has a lot of talented young batsmen who can step up and fill their shoes, which is true.
Correct, but are we transitioning Indian cricket phase right now? Are we heading to a World Cup? What's your focus?
Okay, Vijay Patel, they are two of the best batsmen in the world, and India needs them to win big matches. But
I agree
no
with
one
it.
is. They have been, Crick Guru Rakesh, he says they have been playing a lot of cricket in recent months and they could do with a break.
Okay, did Kohli play West Indies? Did these two play Ireland?
But I think 14 matches in 2023 where he played around 10 of them, and he has decent scores.
I think
14 matches in 2023. Let's not look at what happened in January. India haven't played ODIs since the IPL. They've only played Australia, West Indies.
Australia, West Indies, and then the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
But it's also about the volume of matches just before the World Cup.
This is
the volume of matches for these players, especially the senior players, heading into the World Cup. I think they have to hit peak fitness for the World Cup.
Yeah, as Vidhu said, they haven't played ODIs, but they have been playing IPL, they have been playing the World Test Championship, they have been playing some form of cricket.
So I don't agree. I don't agree. If you are in the Indian squad for, okay, let's look at it this way. Third and final ODI. What wrong has Shubman Gill done? He's played every match. He doesn't need rest.
Age.
He doesn't need rest.
Age.
Virat Kohli says, I'm the fittest person out there, and he actually is fitter than most.
No, that's true.
Okay.
But
Jadeja has played every game. India have played this year. Shubman Gill. Surya Kumar Yadav has been there in that
he's
squad.
Been there but not doing anything.
Okay, Ishan needs to be in the team. Shardul Thakur, he's there. Bumrah is there. Shami is there. Siraj is there. Prasidh Krishna is there, who wasn't even picked for the World Cup. What are you going to do this? So you could have picked a similar team up there, added these 4 people, made it a 20-man squad, and chosen from that, and told Rohit and Kohli, okay, great, first 2 matches you're not playing, but you need to be with the team. And that's all I'm saying.
I think it's more.
That's all I'm saying. What will Virat Kohli get by spending 4 extra days in Mumbai?
No, that's what Ajit Agarkar said. I'm just going by his quote. He said they need mental time.
Oh, come on.
So that's what.
Yeah, no mental break during the IPL. You're okay with the IPL. 2 months in the IPL, there's no mental problem. This is rubbish.
I think all of us have made our points on the matter. We have a few comments. Nikhil Joshi says it's a chance for others to shine. Stockfish says on Twitter, that is X now, a big no, they shouldn't be rested. Diddy says on Twitter, X, rest is for the weak.
Yes.
You were calling Virat Kohli weak.
Okay, let's take a look at polls. Will Ravichandran Ashwin make it to India's ODI World Cup squad?
I think if Akshar Patel is injured, and I think that's a good fight with experience and the way Rohit Sharma, was in touch with. He was in touch with both, but I think Ravichandran Ashwin could just make it with the experience that he has and the Indian condition. Maybe he would.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, 60% say yes, 40% say no.
I don't think he's not part of your one-day squad. There's a reason.
Yeah,
fitness, sort of fielding, a lot of things. Great cricketer, one of India's greatest
bowlers. And he hasn't played since January 2022.
Was his last ODI.
And we all thought that he's not part of the ODS.
You select him, it's a panic. Listen, when he wasn't picked, did we even think, why is he not picked? No.
Yeah, he wasn't part of.
It's a panic. Listen, if you want to get in somebody from a spin bowling thing, your standby is actually Yuzvendra Chahal.
Yeah, in that.
Okay? Yeah. If you want variety and an all-round option, you get in Washington Sundar.
Yeah, I think Yuzi was
doing that.
Yeah, and even Sanju Samson. That's what we were discussing. He is not part of the World Cup squad, not of the Asia Cup, not in the Asian Games.
Okay, and our poll: should India have rested Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for the Australia series?
Yes, it's going to be a close one.
Yes, you're right. 44% say yes, 56% say no.
Thank you.
So, yeah, well, most people agree with Digvijay, but it's pretty close, only slightly.
No, I'm just saying the optics is, listen, I am nobody to question someone's commitment. What I am questioning is the optics. Ahead of a World Cup, everyone has to be together. I love the fact that Rohit Sharma didn't play the West Indies. He was in the squad, he was captaining every game, he didn't come out of bat. Yeah. That sends out a message, I trust you. But you are looking at, this is my problem with the optics. The captain, the previous captain and the future captain, the three most powerful men in this team are not playing. I have a problem with that. It's the optics. What optics are you sending out? It comes across to me as being overconfident.
Okay. We also asked the same question on YouTube. Should India have rested Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for the Australia series? No. Say 75% say no. So more emphatic on YouTube. And of course 25% say it's okay for them to be rested. I think, yeah, so of course we'll see how this decision pans out for the Indian team.
I think, yeah, let's agree to disagree. But I would take a 3-0 loss rather than getting Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli.
Momentum is crucial. You can trust me. Momentum is crucial in a World Cup.
The last match and the practice matches, they will.
This is an Australian. Hang on, look at it this way. This is an Australian team that's coming in after getting hammered in the last 3 one-days by South Africa. Okay? So for a while, think of the larger picture. In chess, think 5 moves ahead. You beat them, full strength team, beat them 3-0. Okay? It's going to somewhere be at the back of their minds, and then you're playing them for a 7th in their 7th straight game. This is an Australian team which can win the World Cup.
I mean,
okay, let's not be sort
of course Australia.
They are contenders, no doubt about that.
Australia, South Africa, India, England. I still think Pakistan somewhere. Depends on how they cope. But a good Pakistan team on a good day can win.
Yeah, but they don't have.
So. No, ifs and buts.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to inflict psychological sort of pressure on Australia by winning this 3-0, and on the back of 3 they have lost over there. I mean, I'd take it any day.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
done with this dashing cameo of mine. What do you think? 6:30. What's up? 6:30. Vidur is the man of the moment. Vidur's.
Yes.
Vidur's actually going to knock off his foot. He's actually wearing a protective something on his foot, but he's living life in the fast lane. Speaking to some fast men. Who do you speak to? Exclusive interview by Vidur Kathuria.
So the MotoGP is coming to India this weekend, and I was fortunate enough to speak to Jorge Martin, who is second in the championship standings.
Just 33 points, 34 points off Bagnaia?
Less than 40 points of defending champion and championship leader Francesco Bagnaia. So candid chat with him, and he will obviously be here.
He's Ducati, soon. Right? Ducati, right?
Yeah. So he'll obviously be here. So definitely tune in for that at 6:30 p.m. India. And what else?
I think the crisis in Spanish football continues, I mean,
that's another joke. That's another joke which has sort of got me really. I'm not always so aggressive, but
it's bizarre.
You're saying we want to protect Jennifer Hermoso. She's right by calling them out.
Exactly.
Who are you going to protect me from? This is intimidating me.
Exactly. The silver ball winner, Spain's all-time leading goal scorer, who has been a victim of harassment, and she hasn't been included in the 15-man squad. And the reason
15-woman squad.
15-woman squad, sorry.
Watching too many men's football matches.
No, I did watch the FIFA Women's World Cup. But on a serious note, it's just absolutely bizarre.
I think a show of strength would have been that. And you ask her to captain.
Yeah.
Home games, UEFA Nations League, proper matches, say, Jennifer Hermoso, Spain is proud of you. We are with you. You are captain for these 2 matches.
No, I mean, those things aside, she qualifies in the squad on her merit, just on her merit. Why to discriminate? I think that's what...
She does not need any protection.
Exactly. And that's what, the misogyny is institutionalized.
I think that's what the players are saying.
If you remove one man, it's not ending there.
So I think even this shows that they don't have faith in the coach.
Yeah.
Tomai. How do you get her name?
Tomai,
right?
Yeah, she was Vilda's assistant. Yeah. So I mean,
I think misogyny is institutionalized.
I think this is one of the changes that have not been made that they were referring to.
Yeah.
They're saying we want a clean sweep.
Yeah.
All of them out. All of Rubiales' supporters out.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need a clean sweep. I agree there.
Yeah. And Champions League.
Return
of the Champions League.
Injury concerns for Manchester City as well?
Yeah, but listen, the thing with City is they don't have Grealish, they don't have De Bruyne, they don't have John Stones, they don't have Kovacic, but they still have world-class replacements, if I could call them that. They've been winning without them.
Yeah.
They beat,
Top of
West
the
Ham
Premier
3-1, 5-5 in the Premier League, Erling Haaland scoring goals. At home, they start favourites, and I feel for Red Star Belgrade. they'll probably get hammered because they've lost, what, 2 of the last 3.
They have a coach
And
change,
they've conceded 6 in those 3 games.
Yeah.
If I'm Erling Haaland, I'm Julian Alvarez, I'm Bernardo Silva, and whoever else is there on the bench. I'm saying, okay, 5-6 goals here.
And it's not just the UEFA Champions League. The star quotient in the Asian Champions League is high as well. But Neymar's side...
Thanks to the Saudi Pro League.
Thanks to the Saudi Pro League. You know, there's a Ronaldo mania in Iran. Al Hilal begin their Asian Champions League campaign today. So some nice visuals from there. And Neymar's team, they just salvaged a last gasp draw against a team from Uzbekistan that is ranked way below them. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah, all that and much more on WION World of Sport, 6:30 p.m. India. See you there.